Hi, I'm Illinois State Controller Susana Mendoza. Thank you to the organizers of the 2020 Women's Empowerment Summit for inviting me to join you by video. I hope you're all staying healthy and managing through this terrible pandemic as best as possible. I am honored to be among the many outstanding and accomplished women who are part of your program today and to be recognized as a woman of power. Thank you so much for this award. Just the other night, my 7-year-old came over to me and said, "Congratulations, Mommy. I'm very proud of you." And I was like, "That's so sweet. But why are you proud of me?" And he held up the award you sent me and read it out loud to his dad. That was pretty awesome. Thank you so much for that. I am truly delighted to be celebrating a century of women's suffrage this year. Like all of you, I cherish this country we live in and our constitutional right to elect those who represent us in government. The right to vote is precious. But today, even though it's been a century since the 19th Amendment was ratified, women across this country still have work to do in our quest for equality. Remember, we are paid less than men for doing the same work. We are charged more than men for the same goods and services. We are responsible for most of the housework, child rearing, and financial decisions in our homes. We take care of our elderly parents. And even though we make up more than 50% of the nation's population, we are not adequately represented in our government. We haven't come nearly far enough. That's why I want to challenge and encourage all of you to be even more involved in your government. Friends, it's up to us to fight for ourselves. No one else is going to do it for us. If we want the gender pay gap closed, then it's up to us to make sure it happens. If we want access to affordable health care, we're going to have to demand it. We're never going to get better economic opportunities if we don't challenge the status quo. And it's up to us to say no to sexual harassment, violence against women, and attacks on our reproductive rights. If we've learned anything over the past 100 years, it's that women cannot leave it up to others to do the right thing on our behalf. We need more women to run for public office. We need more women to be active, engaged, and informed. Most importantly, women must vote. Now I want to tell you a story about a woman in our audience today, Tiffany Tyler, and why she believes in the power of voting. Tiffany works for the Quad County Urban League. Many of you may know her. She was instrumental in putting today's event together. In 2008, Tiffany was living in Fresno, California with her husband, who was serving in the U.S. Marine Corps. As you'll recall, there was a pivotal presidential election race that year, Illinois' very own Barack Obama versus John McCain. Now, Tiffany wasn't particularly interested in politics at that time, but in 2008, for the first time in her life, she felt moved to make sure her voice was heard. She knew she had a rare opportunity to help make sure America had a president who looked like her and who looked like her children. A president who understood the challenges facing people of color in this country. So she filled out a mail-in ballot and cast her vote for Barack Obama. And mail-in ballots, by the way, work for all of us, not just for elected officials. Now, Tiffany remembers watching the election results come across the TV and celebrating with her friends when it became clear Obama would be the next president. Now, to say that was a memorable night would be an understatement. And today, Tiffany can take pride in knowing her vote made her an important part of a key historical moment in this nation. That's exactly what we're celebrating this year. 100 years of women like Tiffany making their voices heard at the ballot box. Now I want to leave you with this. In 2010, I had the privilege of traveling to Iraq with 6 other female lawmakers from around the country at the behest of Secretary of State Hillary Clinton to help monitor the first elections under the new Iraqi government. These were their first free elections. Iraqi law required that 1/4 of candidates on the ballot be women. It was a historic moment. But as soon as we landed and as we moved about the region, we could hear gunfire and IEDs going off. There was a very real possibility that Iraqi citizens would die, and some did, as they bravely made their way to the polls to vote. It was that important for them to defy the terrorists and cast their votes for their new government. I remember women proudly showing me the purple ink stains on their fingers that indicated they had voted. I think about that experience a lot. And I think we should all step back once in a while and remember how comparatively easy we have it in the United States when it comes to voting. But even with that, we must stand up against attempts at this very moment across our country to suppress our votes. We cannot let that happen. As we remember the American suffragists who were ridiculed, beaten, and imprisoned over the course of 80+ years simply for seeking the right to vote, let's not take their work for granted. Thank you for inviting me to speak with you today. Enjoy the rest of the summit, and let's hope circumstances allow us to be together soon.